now to torte our cake. My ganache has sat in the fridge overnight. I took it out about a half an hour ago. It was really solid and I wanted to be able to work on it. I put it in the microwave at 1 minute intervals until it got to look like this. I have run the beater through it enough to see if it's soft enough. It is, I believe, soft enough now. All we're going to do now is we're just going to mix this, beat this, until we have the buttercream consistency. Once we have this at the buttercream consistency, we will be ready to torte our cake. You notice some of this melted quite a bit, and some is still almost too hard. Part of our mixing is to mix the two together so that they become the right consistency. I still have some around the edge that's not really mixed in, but I have enough that I can scoop it in a bowl. And then if I end up needing that that's on the edge, this bowl will be not as full and I'll be able to mix it again. I'm hoping not to need all of this for torting, because remember, I need to put some on the top to make it into the mud for the pigs to be in. Our next step is to torte the cake and then put this on. I have my cake on this cake board. The reason why I have it there is this is only a 1-inch thick cake, but I want to torte it at 1/2 inch. And my cake board is a 1/2 inch. And my cake torter starts at 1 inch. So by having it on the cake board, I can set this at 1 inch and I will get a 1/2 inch cut right there. Now all I do is I just carefully go through here, moving this kind of back and forth in a sine motion. And that stays on the ground until it's all the way through. Then I'm going to do the exact same thing with the other layer. Then I will have 4 1/2 inch layers that I am ready to torte. I've cut the cake. What we're going to do now is torte it. That means we're going to put a layer of the ganache in between each of the layers of cake. With this cake, with each layer being only a 1/2 inch thick, I am not going to pipe the filling like I normally do, because that wouldn't be half, 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 half. And you don't want as much filling as you have cake. What I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to put a blob of the ganache on. And I'm going to spread it around. And I do want to bring it out to the edge, and I don't want it too thin. I want it to probably be, when eyeballing it, about 1/4 inch. So I can see that I'm going to need more on there than what I have. And I'm just bringing this out to the edge. And you want to be gentle with this, because you really don't want to tear your cake apart. You want your cake to stay whole. But you also want to have enough pressure when moving the ganache around that it will move around. We have our first layer of ganache on. Now we're going to take our next layer of cake and we're just going to put that on the ganache. We want to make sure that it is on there perfect, as in it's not overhanging on either side. And then we're just going to put a couple of more blobs of ganache on and spread it around. And I'm actually going to spread it to the ends first, because that's the part that likes to rip, and then bring it into the center. Get that to the edge. Bring this one over here to the edge. I'm going to go ahead and continue doing this until I have all 4 of those layers on. If your cakes end up being bigger, taller than the Kit Kat bar at the end, then you would not want to put them all on. So you'd want to be judging, having your Kit Kat bar out to make sure you're not getting it too high. I pre-measured this before I decided how to tort it. Mine, unless I really get this torting extra thick, should not have a problem that way, but I will probably still check once I get the 3rd one on. I have all 4 layers on now, and you notice when I put the Kit Kat bar on, you can see that just this much is above the cake, and that's good because we're going to pour some ganache there to make it mud. And then we do want a little bit of a lip. We don't want it way down there because that would be way too much ganache and too much to put in to fill it. Because we don't need a lot of ganache. 1/4 of an inch is going to be fine to fill that right there. And the pigs will look like they're in a full bath of mud. And that'll also make it so we have a little bit of a lip. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to put our Kit Kat bars around our cake.